I get the program. I mean, I watch Full Swing. I watch F1 stuff. I think it's cool to see behind the scenes, but when it's your own, it feels a little bit different.
Well, it's going to hit Ryan Poles different because the Bears have been selected for Hard Knocks. This has been something that we've been hearing for a while. I know Carmen and I have both been hearing it, that this is becoming more and more of a possibility. Told the story months ago, and I put it in my column not too long ago, that the Bears did used to have a wink-wink with the league, that it was told to me by someone who worked in the organization that, hey, it used to be a known thing that, okay, we'll give up a home game and we'll play in London. Okay, we'll play the extra preseason game and we'll be in the Hall of Fame game. We'll do that. We won't put up a fight. Just don't put us on Hard Knocks. There are a few things that we would rather not do.
Why?
Because that's how they've rolled.
But I'd love for George to tell me why.
That because they're old school in their thinking. They'd rather do their own in-house thing. They think it's a distraction. And my counter to that has always been, how distracted were you without the cameras last year when you started 0-4?
How distracted have you been for 25 years?
Exactly. You got your ass kicked by the Green Bay Packers when they, in your own building, when Jordan Love had no starting experience. No cameras then. Then you went, what was game 2? Tampa?
Tampa.
You lost then to Baker Mayfield as he was kicking off his second chapter of his career, or third or fourth chapter, however you want to put it. And then, the Kansas City game and on. And you're 0-4. You look up, you're not prepared. You're 0-4.
That's 14 in a row.
Yeah, 14 in a row losing streak.
I've told the story that I was listening. It was the first broadcast of a regular season game on this station for the Bears. The first voice was yours. I literally, hey, Alexa, play ESPN Chicago. And probably Alexas all over the city now are playing it. But your voice comes on, and your enthusiasm was like a 4-year-old on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And you're like, it is so electric in here, so amazing. And then Brett and I turn the game on, and they get the ever-living H beaten out of them.
And it's going to be like that, even though it's not Green Bay this year for that Tennessee. It's going to it's probably going to be even more so, if it's possible, because Caleb Williams starting, and the start of a new era. And again, I know that this isn't total reality. I understand that when they're showing me Rory McIlroy on Full Swing these last 2 years, they didn't show me that he was cheating on his wife.
Right.
They weren't giving me the full Rory McIlroy story.
Right. You didn't see Amanda Balionis hanging out with him.
But they were showing, it was, I fell in love with some of the golf stuff that I normally wouldn't because of Full Swing. And I've always watched Hard Knocks. I thought last year with the Jets was really a really good year.
It was. Maybe
some people have stopped, but I'm interested in seeing what Matt Eberflus looks like with the team in front of the full auditorium.
Right. Dan Campbell killed it when they did it with the Lions.
Yes, and I said to Waddle, everyone thinks that Dan Campbell, and Waddle wasn't watching the first couple episodes of Hard Knocks, and I said to him, you only see the sound bites of him biting off kneecaps. If you're watching Hard Knocks the total time, I can tell you that Dan Campbell is more than just the meathead soundbite.
Yeah.
You should see the way he interacts with these guys and how much they love him.
Right.
And we were having a talk about Matt Eberflus. You were telling me intel that you got.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the players up there. We sat for a long while, and I said, what do you think of Eberflus? He's like, look, we haven't gotten into the season yet, but he goes, I can tell you the guys that have been here with him since he got hired, they love the passion he brings. He holds them accountable in the room. He may not be great at the podium, they said, but I can tell you in the room, he's awesome. They love him. We'll see.
So we'll see. We get these after-game pep talks, and you guys played on in the morning all the right.
That'd be me.
Instead of him just giving you a run through the wall thing, every other word is right. Maybe when we get him more relaxed or his everyday demeanor is a little bit you'll understand why they like him.
I thought he got better at the podium the last 5-6 weeks of the season. Maybe he already knew. You said it.
I
one
agree
day
with that.
He probably knew he was coming back. He relaxed.
Right.
His wife and daughters did the makeover on him. Like, he looks like a different person.
I thought it was because of a secret contract extension, which Ryan Poles, in that interview that we did with him that you
Said
just
no.
heard, he said, no, we would have publicized it.
Right.
But, Miller, what are your thoughts
So-
on this? So the Bears are getting Hard Knocks. It was just announced. The way Shefty put it, the NFL and NFL Films have announced that they are putting the Bears on, or they have picked the Bears.
There's a couple things off this. I'm really excited because obviously if you've watched this program, they do a fantastic job on HBO. Like they're going to give you compelling storylines. They will find something for you, the viewer, the football fan, and now the Bears fan to fall in love with this team that you may not be, intimately familiar with. They do a great job of that. They always have, and they've got so much experience doing it that it will be awesome. You mentioned how for the longest time the McCaskies had the wink with the NFL. They didn't want to do it, and they always found a reason not to. Now, this is where I will say the extra game, like they couldn't keep saying, oh, we're going to do the overseas game, we'll give up the home game, because every team now has to give up that home game eventually. That's part of the new collective bargaining agreement that every team is going to go over every other year. So at some point, that was no longer a bargaining chip for them. And then you look at the other teams that were options to be forced to do it. The Broncos, Sean Payton, outside of that, not a whole lot of interesting storylines for them. The Saints, I don't think anybody's really interested in that. It was a no-brainer for the NFL that if no team was going to step up, it was always going to be the Bears. They're the it team right now in terms of, like, for not having won a whole bunch recently, they are by far and away, with Caleb Williams' presence, they're the it team of the NFL.
No
the new
doubt.
and exciting team, and this is only going to help to introduce them to the rest of the country. Because we as Bears fans are going to consume and eat up everything that we can with them. And if they start to win on the field, that will be awesome. But I'm telling, this is going to make Caleb Williams an even bigger star. He is so cool right now. He's got the bear claw thing going. I think this is just going to propel him. If he can play on the field at all to what the hopes and expectations that we have, he's going to be the next superstar in this league.
The Bears football side, they believe this will also send a message to players in the league. Chicago's different now. It's different there. Like, they don't get to see it. They will now.
It's different. How so? Like,
Look, the way
we're just doing things different. We're not the old school monsters of the Midway.
the way that Poles and his staff have changed things and how first class everything is up there, that the whole league's going to go like, oh, wow, Chicago's doing things differently.
I think they're going to I think this will be the highest rated Hard Knocks in a long time.
Agreed.
I'm biased, but again, like what Meller said, because of Caleb Williams.
Agreed.
But there are I think there are other things here besides putting the Kansas City Chiefs on, and with Travis Kelce and with Taylor Swift and with obviously the soon-to-be GOAT at quarterback.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid and everything like that. The Bears have as good of storyline. I'm not saying they're as good of a team or anything like
But
that.
their storylines.
But the storylines are really good, and I think they're curious storylines that not a lot of people know about.
Do you guys think they will lead with the Tory Taylor episode, or will they wait a couple to kind of let it
They're
build?
actually already contracted to lead with Carmen and Yurko ripping the Tory Taylor pick. Isn't that the
Boy,
point?
aren't they going to look
Yeah,
foolish
uh-huh,
on
yeah, for
national
sure.
television?
What will be in the opening credits? So, what will be the highlights?
They're drafting a Caleb.
Well, there's always the slow motion, will a Tory Taylor punt be in the air in slow motion? Or someone just did a mock one of these. I forget the production. Someone on Twitter did it, and it was really good.
Really?
Oh yeah, you didn't see it?
No.
I'll try and dig it up. Someone send it to me if Windy City Productions or something like that.
Yeah, please tweet it at us.
I'll give them proper accreditation.
At Waddle and Silvy, at the Capman.
312-332-3776. I want to take calls here. Capson for Waddle. Lauren says, who was the last team on Hard Knocks that didn't crash and burn? I don't know why fans think this is a good idea. I guess they want to be the 2023 Jets or the 2022 Cardinals. Give me a break. I would counter with that by saying, I don't know if that's necessarily true. And also, when's the last time the Bears didn't crash and burn without the cameras?
I also think he's conflicting. So the Cardinals were in season,
In
right?
season, yes.
Last year, the Dolphins were in season. They made it to the playoffs, and they lost. I don't think Hard Knocks had anything to do with them losing to a better Chiefs team in frigid conditions in the playoffs. The Jets, that was Aaron Rodgers. Like that was
Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 plays in it and nothing to do with Hard Knocks.
You just laid out. How about Dan Campbell? Like the Lions are, on a rocket ship right now.
They
It wasn't-
supposedly wanted to do it again.
Yeah, it wasn't the same year, but last season or 2 seasons ago when they were on Hard Knocks, that was the year when they finished really strong. They beat the Packers to keep them out of the playoffs, and then this year was the follow-up year.
Okay, here's the teams. The first ever team to appear on it, I think.
Ravens, right?
Baltimore Ravens, the year after they won the Super Bowl, right?
Okay, then the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Cowboys again, Bengals, Jets, Dolphins, Bengals again, Falcons, Texans, Rams, Bucks, Browns, Raiders, Chargers, and Rams together.
Right, that was COVID.
Cowboys, Lions, Jets, Chicago.
The Cowboys' year recently was one of the more boring years.
It was.
A lot of people thought it was a year it jumped the shark. What's his name is so damn boring, their head coach, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, he's boring.
Really boring. What is, out of all the Hard Knocks, the most memorable year?
The Jets with Rex Ryan.
I agree. That's the one that stands out to me. Let's go get a GD snack.
And Mike Tannenbaum when they called guys in and cut him right on camera.
Sure, and then he's catching the punt. Didn't he fall catching the punt?
Yeah.
And then also that was the year him and Revis, didn't Revis have the holdout?
Revis Island.
So the Bears, if you're just getting into your car, have been selected as the Hard Knocks team.
I love it.
And let me give you the results of the poll question because I polled this then too. Are you happy the Bears will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks? We've had 1,000 votes in 13 minutes. I gave 3 options. I gave yes, no, or don't care. Because you may not care. You may say, look, I don't care if they're on Hard Knocks. I'm not happy about it. I'm not mad about it.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I love it.
How do you believe they're going? Have you cheated and looked?
No,
Have you voted?
I have not.
Okay. How do you think Bears fans are voting?
I'm going to say 78% are happy about it.
Mellor, what do you think?
You said, you phrased it, is this good for the Bears, right?
Are you happy?
Oh, are you happy? Oh, yeah, I think actually I'll say 85% are happy.
Tyler?
I'll say 60%.
73.8%. Cap was really close. Say yes. 11.3% say no, they're not happy. And 14.9% say they don't care either way.
Why would someone not be happy about it?
Let's see. Is anyone on the line with a not happy? Oh, by the way, Eddie's got a conspiracy theory.
Oh, God.
Eddie and Dunning, you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Eddie?
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Eddie?
I got it right here. I'm nailing it right here. That's why Eberflus got his little makeover because he knew it was going to be at Hard Knocks a long time ago.
So you think they secretly knew that it was pretty certain that they were getting it, just like we had heard through the grapevine. And if we heard, he certainly knew. And this is why.
So his
he got
wife and daughter said, okay, if you're going to be on national TV, Dad, we got to do something about your look.
Yeah, don't embarrass us. Get a better look, Dad.
And
That's exactly what it was.
And his family, he's got a beautiful family.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you see him in the white tux jacket at the Bears Gala like 3 weeks ago?
He looks like James Bond.
It was amazing.
I said he should be the next Bond.
Matt Eberflus.
Eddie, that's a great call. That's a great call by you.
I appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.
Foles lost a bunch of weight. You know that, right?
They both have like makeover. I said that I kept saying to Mellor, he looks like instead of a former offensive lineman, he looks like a former NBA player. Like he looks tall and thin, just the way he looks. He says he just goes on long walks now, and that's how he's lost the weight.
Yeah. He lives near us, you know.
Yeah, Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fired up for this.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
And can I ask you guys this? You showed me the logo briefly. Is the logo the bean?
Yes.
Since when and why is our go-to logo for Chicago now the bean?
Agreed.
It seems like on a lot of pictures.
Why would that be like the Hancock, Willis Tower, or the Lake Shore?
Right.
Or Soldier Field.
I feel like the bean has sort of defaulted into our are landmark, and I don't understand that. Why is this bean now all of a cloud gate?
They made the bean look like a football.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. The bean is a football with laces and everything.
Okay, they could put a football on the Sears Tower, Willis Tower, whatever it's called these days.
It's interesting. You say that. I'm wondering, like, do people, if you're not from Chicago, do they instantly know when they see the bean at Chicago?
The skyline, they know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think it's pretty well known. Like a lot of the social teams across the NFL have used the bean as a trolling tool against Chicago.
That's true.
It's
a trolling tool.
Bear down, man. This is
It's
awesome.
a freaking bean.
You could have put a football going through the two beams on the Hancock. That's what you could have done.
I guess there's so it is instead of the bean, it is a football. So it is yes. It's not even in the shape of a bean. It's a silver football, and then in the reflection they show the skyline.
Should Kevin Warren make that part of the new stadium proposal? Is that the bean gets formed into a football? Part of the all the money they want from the state.
Maybe
you just redesign it as a football.
Yes, for sure. And don't think this either, that Kevin Warren probably even pushed for this even more as sort of a Chamber of Commerce thing to get more publicity for the Bears for the fall veto session. To get more publicity for the Bears. Do you buy that at all?
Will they cover the stadium thing on Hard Knocks?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They have to.
You would think it's
so.
going to be a big part of Kevin Warren's day in and day out, and I would imagine he's going to be prominently featured in at least one episode.
Yeah, he's going to be in the office, and he's going to have all the renderings. He's going to be on his computer. He's going to be huddled up with a bunch of people. He's going to have some blueprints.
Will we see a cameo from Brandon Johnson?
Maybe.
The only problem is that there is editorial control over this, and if this stadium thing is not gaining any momentum, they may want to sort of wipe that under the rug.
I think they're going to use it they're going to use it to try to get some momentum.
I mean, they should.
They're going to use it to tell their story nationally to make it seem even better. What better than HBO?
But what can people across the country really influence for this?
I don't know.
It's going to be so much about the draft and how it's a new era, all of it.
Eric in Elmhurst, you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Eric? Eric? Is this us or is this?
Hello?
Yeah, Eric, what's up?
Sorry about that. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Thank you.
I just want to say I'm super excited about the Bears being on Hard Knocks, and I wanted to remind everybody that the in-season one is going to be based off a division now, no longer one team.
Correct.
So would you rather have the Bears be on the training camp one, or would you rather have
the
them
spotlight on us? Totally.
Huh.
Totally.
Interesting. All right.
Go.
Yeah,
Let's go Bears.
I think being in training camp is fine. And I think having it solo is great. And I think, if anything, instead of a distraction, maybe it puts, I've said this before, maybe it puts more players, not that they need it, on their P's and Q's. Show up.
I better
practice.
be at camp. I better.
Yeah.
But I had a player up there tell me, dude, until I got here, I had no idea how nice the facilities were up there. They have one of the nicest buildings in the NFL.
It should be nice.
And they're going to showcase that, and there'll be players around the league going, boy, when I get to free agency, I got to look at that team. Right?
Yeah, the money talks most.
It does. It does.
Like this guy didn't even know what the facility looked like, and he still came aboard with the Bears.
Right.
Yeah, and I do think the new NFLPA surveys that they do, those go a longer way to maybe making some influence on a player's decision more so than seeing a cool looking facility on HBO,
Maybe.
So 312-332-3776. Caps in for Waddle, the announcement that just came across in the last half hour. The Bears have been selected as the Hard Knocks team. We were wondering when this would happen. Last year, the announcement came in early July. Other years, they've come in April. So this kind of split the difference here in May. The Bears have been selected. They have a lot of juicy, really, really good storylines. They have a lot of good personalities. That secondary, that awesome wide receiving core, Cole Kmet and the tight ends, a new offense, an offensive coordinator. Caleb Williams, obviously, is what we're going to be following.
Let's go.
So what do you think about it, Bears fans?